Welcome to my daily yoga series. It's day 4, and today we're going to enjoy a calm, slow yin practice. This yin practice focuses on the 6 movements of the spine, and we'll be spending several minutes in each pose. Let's get started. For today's practice, some kind of a bolster or a big cushion or pillow would be a very much needed prop. Other than that, you don't need to have other props. I do have a second bolster here just in case I want to use it, and a couple of blocks that I can use as an extra support, but those are extra props. If you have one bolster, cushion, pillow, that's plenty enough. And then we're going to head into our first pose. So once you have all the props, you have your practice space ready, we're going to start with a supported back bend. Bring your bolster, your cushion, your pillow behind the back. There are a couple of different ways you could use your bolster. So it could be lengthwise, so it's supporting your back, your neck, your head. But some people like to bring the bolster sideways and then lean head and shoulders over the bolster. So your head could either be on the mat, on the floor, or if you have those extra props there, you could bring something under the head and then let your shoulders sink into that gap between the bolster and the block. But find a way you want to place your bolster, your support under the back. So you might have it lengthwise, you might have your bolster sideways. Legs could be bent. You might extend your legs onto the mat. Or if you want to start with a butterfly shape in your legs, that would be an option as well. Finding a safe back bend for your spine. We are creating this opening along the front line, so you might feel the chest, the fronts of the shoulders, gently stretching, opening. You can also adjust where your arms are, and those small changes might have a big effect on how you feel in the pose, where you feel the pose. And then invite your full awareness to your breath. And allow your breaths to slide down and up. Inhaling down towards the lower back. And then the exhalation sliding back up towards the neck. And just let yourself observe those micro movements, those small movements that each breath creates along your spine. We still have about a minute and a half in this back bend. If you need to make any changes to your pose, feel free to adjust. Or if you want to come out of the pose earlier, that's an option as well. I'm only suggesting minutes, but you know your body best. You know how long it's good for you to stay in the pose today. Give yourself a few more breaths in your back bend. Maybe a few just slightly slower, slightly deeper breaths in and out. And then if you have your legs extended or in a butterfly shape, just slowly bend your knees, bringing your feet onto the mat. If you have arms higher up, you could bring your arms just a bit lower down. And then slowly, slowly start to swing your knees, your legs from side to side. This could be a very small movement. It's just allowing some gentle movement before we transition out of this back bend. And the way we are going to transition into the next pose is by slowly leaning onto the left side, kind of rolling yourself off the bolster. You could start to turn towards the left side. And with the help of your right hand, you could bring yourself up to sitting on your left hip. We're going to build a side bend. We're going to go into the Sidebending Deer, or some call this a rainbow pose. And we'll use the bolster now sideways next to the left hip. Legs could be together, or you could open your legs into that deer shape with your right leg a bit further back. And then we're going to lean over the bolster onto the left side. Your head could lean all the way down onto the mat. If you have other props there and you want to bring some support under the head, you could have a block, you could have a cushion, a pillow under the head as well. Right arm, that top arm could go overhead. If that's painful in the right shoulder, you can always leave that right arm lower down. It could be next to your side, could be behind the back, could be in front of you. Where do you feel? You can start relaxing through the shoulders. And you can also play with some rotation in the spine. You might open your chest up towards the ceiling, or you might close your chest down towards the mat. Where do you feel you can access that right side of your spine with a gentle opening while creating that compression on the opposite side, on the left-hand side? And of course, you might feel this in your arms, shoulders, maybe down in the legs as well. And you can still modify the shape in the legs if needed. You might extend one leg or both legs. There's no right or wrong shape for the pose. The pose is a tool for you to access your body. So we're looking for a shape where the pose serves your body rather than the other way around. And then we'll just breathe here. If you want to focus more on your breathing, you might send your in-breaths down towards that right hip, and then let the out-breath slide up towards the right shoulder, as if you're breathing down and up along a rainbow. And we could still take another 5 to 10 breaths in this side bend. Like I said before, if you want to come out of the pose earlier, that's always an option. Don't force yourself to stay longer than feels safe, feels useful for you today. And then either after your 5 to 10 breaths, or when you would feel ready to slowly start transitioning out of the side bend, if you have your right arm overhead, just slide your right hand somewhere in front of you. You can bring the legs a bit closer together. And then in your own time, slowly bring yourself up onto all fours. You could turn over the bolster, maybe leave the bolster where it is, and either bring yourself onto hands and knees, or you can also bring yourself onto elbows and knees. And then just gently circle the weight from hands to knees, knees to hands. Or you can add some cat-cow movements here, rounding and arching the spine, allowing gentle movement through the spine before we go into that side bend on the other side. And then when you feel ready to do so, just slowly start to bring yourself sitting on your right hip, so turning to the other side of the mat. And then lean your right side over the bolster. Again, legs could be together, legs could be wider apart in that deer shape. If you want, you can bring your left arm overhead. Or you might play with turning your chest up towards the ceiling or closing your chest down towards the mat. The shape of the pose might be different on the second side, and that's very fine. Just let yourself focus on where you feel the pose, what you feel in the pose. Are those sensations something that you want to explore, something that feels safe for you to explore in this moment? If yes, you can let yourself stay with those sensations and see where the pose takes you. Once again, inviting your awareness to your breath. Your breath is another tool that can help you dive deeper to yourself. Just noticing each breath in and noticing each breath out. You could give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in your side bend, wherever you are in your pose. Notice if there's still tension that you could let go of. You could allow yourself a few slightly deeper, bigger breaths. Let yourself feel those movements of each breath as they slide in and out. That can also help as we start to prepare for the next transition. When you feel ready to slowly start coming out of the second side bend, again, if you have your left arm overhead, you could slowly slide that left hand somewhere in front of you. You might bring legs closer together, and then in your own time, slowly bring yourself up into a seat as we prepare for the next pose, which is going to be a seated forward bend. And I'm suggesting a butterfly shape in the legs today, but you might choose to cross your legs as well. I'll let you know when we are about halfway through, so that if you have your legs crossed, you can then change that crossing other way around. If you want, you might use some bolsters or other props in front of you as we lean forward, or you might use support under the knees, under the thighs, if you know that maybe your knees or hips want some extra support. So find your legs to a shape that feels safe, and then we'll start to slowly round the back forward. You can start to round your neck, allow your head to lean down. You might walk your hand further forward and just slowly lean into that forward bend. And it might be nice to have some support under the head or under the chest. As you lean into your forward bend, you can also turn head to one side or the other. You might feel the pose more around the hips, in the legs. It doesn't necessarily mean that when we are rounding the back forward that you feel it just along your back. And you don't have to use any props. You can just lean down towards the legs, towards the feet, towards the mat, without any props. That is very fine. And just finding your shape in this forward bend. You can start sending your breaths towards your back, as if you're breathing into your turtle shell, breathing into that back space. With each in-breath, opening up space. With each out-breath, releasing tension around and inside that space. And we are now about halfway through this forward bend. So if you have your legs crossed, you might change that crossing the other way around. Or even if you have a symmetrical butterfly shape and you just want to change your legs to a different place, feel free to adjust. Also, if you have your head turned to one side, you might turn your head to the opposite side. And then after any changes, just check in with your breath again. We still have another minute, a bit over a minute in this forward bend. As always, you can come out of the pose earlier. Or you might just adjust the pose. Make sure you are feeling safe. You're keeping yourself safe in the pose. And give yourself a few more breaths in your forward bend. Maybe a few just slightly deeper breaths, bigger breaths in and out. And then when you feel ready to do so, very slowly with the help of your hands, arms, you can start to bring yourself up and out of that forward bend. If you have any props there in front of you, you can move them aside. You can lean onto your hands, step hands behind you, extend the legs, and just open the chest. Send a few breaths towards the front side. You might move your feet. You can even add some windshield wiper movements here. You can bend the knees and gently swing legs from side to side. What do you feel that you need after that long forward bend? And then our next longer pose is going to be a closed twist. So we're going to Come sit down, lean onto the left hip, a bit like we did in preparation for that side bend. But now we're going to twist chest down towards the mat. And you can either use a bolster here under the chest, could be kind of pointing lengthwise out of the left hip. Then turn chest down towards the bolster and lean your belly, your chest, your head onto that bolster. So creating a twist. You can also do this without the bolster. So if you want, you can lean your chest, head all the way down onto the mat. And again, legs might be closer together. They could be wider apart. Where can you find a twist that doesn't hurt anywhere, but also gives you that physical sensation that you can focus on? If you want, you can play with the arms. You might extend arms further out. You might also bring arms down closer to your sides. Or maybe one arm is out, the other one is down. Just find a shape that again serves your body. And once you have found that shape, turn your awareness inwards to your breath. And to those sensations that you feel in your body, allowing yourself to stay curious about what's happening in your body as we stay longer in the pose. We could spend another 5 to 10 breaths in this twist. If this is where you want to spend those 5 to 10 breaths, again, you might choose to come out of the pose earlier. Listen to your body and respect those messages that your body is sending you. And then either after your 5 to 10 breaths, or again when you feel ready to slowly come out of this pose, I'm suggesting that we'll slide down onto the belly. And if you have a bolster under your chest, under your belly, you can still keep that bolster there. Or if you don't have any props, just slide down onto the mat. And either with or without the bolster under your chest and your belly, take a moment lying down on the front. You might have hands under the head if that helps. Legs can be as wide apart or as close together as feels good right now. Just give yourself a moment to observe what it feels like to lie down here. Give yourself a few more breaths before we start looking for the next or the second side of the twist. And then with your next few breaths, in your own time, start to lean towards the right side. You might come up into a seat first if you want. Then you might want to use a bolster. You don't have to. Again, you can lean your chest down on the mat as well, and you can make a different choice on the second side. This could be different. Sitting or leaning on to the right hip, turn your chest down towards the mat or towards the bolster, and then slowly lean down. Again, you can bring your head down. Head might turn to one side or the other. And you might adjust your arms. Maybe they're lower down, maybe they're higher up. Maybe one is up, the other one is down. Just find your shape. And then again, let yourself relax. Just breathing in, breathing out. That's all we're doing here. We could spend another 5 to 10 breaths in this second twist. If this is where you want to spend those breaths. And then either after your 5 to 10 breaths, or when you feel you'd be ready to release this second twist, slowly bring your hands on the mat. And with the help of your hands, your arms, slowly bring yourself up to sitting. And slowly in your own time, bring yourself to lie down on your back in your final Shavasana pose. If you want, you can use a bolster under the legs. It might help with the lower back. It might help softening the hips. You can also lengthen your legs all the way down onto the mat, or maybe you'd rather keep your knees bent. Any shape in the legs that allows you to soften your hips, your back. Arms in a place where you feel you can release the shoulders, your neck. Allowing yourself to find this final resting pose for your whole body to rest. Allowing your mind to rest in observing the breath. Allowing yourself a moment to just be. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in your resting pose. And just notice how you feel right now in this moment. There's no right or wrong way to feel. So don't judge yourself. Just notice how you feel now. And if you feel that you'd like to stay longer in this Shavasana pose, then let yourself do that. If you feel that you'd be ready to slowly start waking up from Shavasana pose, and give yourself a couple of slightly deeper breaths in and out. And start to bring some gentle movement back to your body. Moving your hands, moving your feet. Maybe moving your wrists, your ankles. Rock your head from side to side. Or you could even lengthen arms overhead along the floor if you want. And in your own time, you could roll down onto one side. It could be the left or the right side. And in your own time, find your way up into a seat, to your own final seat, where you could leave your hips, leave your back, leave your shoulders soft, and where you could give yourself a few more breaths to close the practice. And if it's a part of your practice, you could bring your palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for allowing yourself to slow things down today, or taking this time to look after yourself. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing the practice. Namaste. Thank you.